Potter in this situation?
I don't know. What would you like to be?
Or is
like
it the show that's this part? I mean, you haven't left.
That's true.
You've been doing your thing.
And people are very upset about that I have not left.
Well,
and you were the one that did not show up.
Oh, man.
How's it going, everybody? Iron Man, good to see you. Baker, it is good to see you. It is Thursday. It feels wonderful to say this once again. It is podcast time.
It is.
It is. Yes. I thought we were almost going to wait till the time change back again.
Well, it wasn't going to be that far. I had a feeling if we didn't do this week, then with next week being 4th of July, and then you guys being out of town, I thought then we'd be going out that. So I thought, even though I fully am not dialed in sleep-wise where I want to be, I thought, we need to make this happen.
That's right. I thought it was strange you did ask me to slap you across the face a few times to wake you up, but it's like,
so if I have a handprint here, then you'll understand why that is.
It's like, wow, it's in the perfect shape of Andrew's palm.
Andrew's hand.
But yeah, we've got lots of beverages to talk about this evening. It's always amazing when we kind of finally get back together. It's like, what should we have? And you're like, well, I've got these wines. I've got this. All of a sudden, all these ideas just kind of spring forth. So,
well, the wine's a holdover from what we were going to be doing when we didn't do our last show.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. So it's in the flyer that came out 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago. When we have the wine, which will be the second thing we have, ! Beverage command and chat should be working correctly. Let's double check since I did it at the last minute there. It is. Those are all the things we're going to be having. We'll get to the beer here in just 1 second. But yeah, the wine itself, it looks like it must have just hit shelves recently or something because it was like articles have gone up about it. Like, the wine blogs that we go to look at that are like, the Trader Joe's this or that. That's where I have one of the links to that was like, it was like the review from like 3 days ago. I was like, oh, geesh. Okay. The flyer, I think, dropped like May 22nd, and it just came in a week or two before that. So it's relatively
June 19th.
Relatively
so like
new.
It's within the last week. Some of these reviews are hitting. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what we think of that. I'm sure we've got a lot to talk about, but should we start quenching our thirst?
Yeah,
we
might as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Let's do that for sure. You both look good. Well, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I feel pretty good.
In the intervening time, I did go through a full Crest teeth whitening process.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so my teeth might
pearly.
Oh, it was so funny when your wife mentioned that at the gathering a couple weeks ago. I was like, I actually am about a week into that. So like, okay,
Crest started it.
Good old Crest white strips.
That's right.
Unfortunately, it leaked out onto my facial hair. So now I've got
Keith. That's not true at all. You just have that kind of.
It just is there. Yeah.
No just from anymore. Just going to let it just be.
Well, I'm trying to actually.
It.
I actually shaved it back, I actually will probably get rid of it at least once this summer. So.
Oh, yes. Really? You'll go full?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, the beverage that we have to start with is this one right here. It is Nectar of the Night. It is from Bottlelogic Brewing and Campy Creatures, I believe is the name.
Okay.
Paco, how's it going?
Hello,
Hi, Baby
Paco.
Rose. Listening while I drive home. Love that.
Of the night.
Love that. Listening on the way home, not watching.
Not watching.
That's not watching. Paco is a responsible adult.
Not joining us in this beverage as you drive home.
No, not that either. But once you get home, you're more than welcome to.
Yes. This is true.
That's what we need to do. People that are close enough, we need to start like traveling. We're going to have a beverage with this listener. And then we just like go.
There we are.
Yeah, we're just like on a street corner. We quickly pour something.
Is this mobile enough that you can?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. Sushi, thank you for the gigantic version of Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia.
You can now gigantify emotes on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like, what do I have it as? It's like 30 or 50 bits. Or something like that, and you can have a vagina. It
might help me understand some of the things. Remember, wasn't I acting out the emojis?
You were. That was the last time we got together.
Okay.
You were acting out all the emojis. What's nice about that too is that since I actually did a good picture, the clarity is really good. Like I have a feeling some people might get a gigantic emote that's like, ooh, the quality on that could have been better, but not me.
Not you.
Not me.
You get every bit worth of your bits.
I do.
When you chip
Sushi's
in your
getting
bits.
every bit worth of the bits and the bytes.
And
50. Okay, it's
and
50.
the Loggia.
That's right. So this is Bottlelogic Brewing. They are out of San Diego?
Yeah, I think, aren't they?
Or
Anaheim, I think.
Anaheim? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Anaheim.
So this is Nectar of the Night is a tart ale brewed with blood orange and raspberry.
They do a few of this series, I think. There's there's something that with the Campy Creatures. There's something that
this was a collaboration, as I said, with Campy Creatures.
Is Campy Creatures a brewery?
We can find out because they've got campycreatures.com on the side of the thing. What if we looked it up while we sat here in front of y'all?
I think I've had Nectar of the Night, I think in the past, but I've at least had something else from this sort of line or series.
Campy Creatures. Campy Creatures board game. That is not what I was looking for. Oh, there is a board game. Maybe it is. What? Maybe it's a board game. That literally went to that. What is Campy Creatures? Ghoulish game of bluffing, deduction, and a set collection for 2 to 5 players. Board game by Keymaster Games. So it is a board game.
Okay.
So it is not a brewery. So they just work together with them. That's why they have the scary pictures and stuff on there.
Okay.
It looks like some of the cards. Got it. Blah, Vampire Ale, blah. Good afternoon. Crocodiles, good to see you. How are you? Blah, I want to have your Vampire Ale. But yeah, I've had this one sitting around for quite a while, and I'm like, at some point, we need to have one of these together. Need to have this together.
Well, we had to actually get together.
That's true.
Has finally happened through one thing or another. It took a little bit.
Ooh, that's what I was hoping for.
Sour and orange.
Mm-hmm. That raspberry really comes through. And the orange. Yeah, that is good. I'm glad you brought a Sauvignon Blanc for later too, because it's almost getting a little bit warm outside here in southern Arizona.
Just a touch.
It's just hit right around that nice 105 degrees where I start thinking about white wine. Just hit that precipice.
Although I am intrigued to do the whatever the name of the cocktail is with red wine and Coke. I think it'll be fun.
Oh, I would love to do that.
And I guess also I was talking with Fitz about that.
So we
today.
need to have a red wine next week or the next time we get together.
Because it's going to have ice and Coke in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the Charles Shaw?
No, we should do the actual, I think in Spain they use a Spanish, like a Rioja or something.
Oh, okay.
We've got one that's $5. We've actually done it on the podcast before, the Patón Clemente.
Oh, okay.
I think that'd be
he
fine
used to play for the Pirates, didn't he?
Yeah, Patón Clemente. He was killed in a airline crash delivering relief supplies to
that's true.
earthquake victim. It is.
That's no longer funny.
No. Well, it's
that took away the humor from my joke.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just kidding.
But Fitz says there's like an Italian version of that too, where they use Lambrusco and Coke. He said, but that's too sweet.
That does sound like too much.
I would think that would be as well. So.
That's like raspberry preserves. Like it's that kind of a Like it's not quite as
it gets more raspberry than the orange.
Mm-hmm.
Blood orange can. I've seen them rebranded lately as raspberry oranges because maybe people don't like the blood orange thought, but it's just because it's red. It's not like there's
sacrificial orange also is not on the table.
Not actual blood in the orange.
Exactly.
That would be gross.
That would be. Well, the blood of the workers that picked them.
Yeah. Well, yes. Metaphorical blood.
Metaphorical blood. That's why it was. Every time you pick an orange, you have to cut a little bit and you do some sort of sacrifice. These are very expensive. They're very expensive. And I don't really think it adds to the flavor either.
So yeah, but you can really, that raspberries in there.
Mm-hmm. This is good though. This is refreshing. This is this is fantastic.
Probably a little too much beer for some people who like their sours to not taste like beer.
Yeah, I would say so.
But it's overall. So speaking of too much beer, not too much beer, but we started
beer
carrying recently at the store. We have a Radler, which usually it's like lemonade and beer, or it's or
so
shandy.
It's like a shandy. Yeah.
But I guess it can also be done with grapefruit juice. So we have one right now, and it's a grapefruit Radler, and it's grapefruit juice, and it's the Hefeweizen style beer, and it's made by
Who makes it?
And we
by the Trader Joe's.
The Trader Joe's, the Gordon Biersch.
Okay.
It's from the San Jose thing.
Not the what's the Bells?
No, not the Campanology. No, not the Wisconsin one.
Gotcha.
But we were pouring it last week at the at our tasting because we'll throw a beer in there every once in a while, or the margarita, and the way the wind was blowing when that got cracked open, you could really smell that it was the grapefruit. It smelled really good. And I thought, I want to try this. So I tried one, and I found out that I just don't like that combination of beer and grapefruit juice.
Well, because maybe it's even probably a bitterness that's kind of in there. If it's real grapefruit juice, that can kind of have a
little sweet, and it smells good. But for some reason, I was just like, you know what, this just isn't. I had thought it might be, and it's only 3.5%, good starter, maybe a pool thing, and there obviously are people who like it. It just maybe they're not.
I do like a shandy, but I usually like something a little more like the classic, probably lemon or maybe lime or something like that.
was hoping.
Do you think it was the beer that took away from it, or was it the grapefruit specifically? You could tell you didn't
really well. You could definitely taste the grapefruit. I just think it was the combination of things together that for me just didn't work. So,
what was the Hefeweizen style like? Was it kind of more that banana clovey kind of thing, or?
No, it's usually more of that the orangey, weedy, and I haven't had our Trader Joe's in a while, but that always used to be one of the better ones of that line. Okay. But so anyways, but that it just didn't quite make it. But this is good.
Yeah, a beer actually that we had at a get together, I think during this time that we've been apart, at least for podcasting, we had that one from Fate Brewing, which was the. Had the chili peppers in it and stuff like that. What was that one? I don't think we got to talk about that on the
the Gato.
Yeah,
hatch chili.
Yeah, it was hatch chilies, and then what kind of was it a pill?
Golden ale.
It was a golden ale with hatch chilies or whatever. Yeah. It actually was not bad. I am not usually a fan of, like I said, that chili craze that happened a while back.
10, 15 years ago.
Really glad that kind of went in the dust.
Yeah.
That one actually worked. I think did we split it 3 ways? Try it.
Yeah,
that was the right amount of it.
That was right.
I don't think I'd want 16 ounces of it.
Yeah,
but like to have it that way, or I could almost see that being as part of a marinade or something like that, where you were going to marinate something.
A reduction, yeah.
If you were doing like brats or something like that, where sometimes you do use a lighter ale. Like I like using darker beers with brats too, but like I said, if you were doing that and then you just kind of added that little bit of extra hatch chili, obviously you could do that naturally, but it'd be kind of fun.
Fitz said he wanted like corn. It reminded him of cornbread.
Like chili cornbread.
Like me, it was like salsa. When you cracked that open, we were like, ooh, you could smell the chilies, which was good. Just not necessarily, but in the beer, but it was a well-made beer, just not my thing. Like you said, I think that amount of that was good.
Yeah,
for me.
Whatever the 5-6 ounces we had, 5-6 ounces, whatever.
Yeah.
So you said you had a bit of an adventure the other day that you almost called me about?
Oh, it wasn't an adventure necessarily, but I had.
But then you chose not to. So
I got summoned for jury duty.
Oh.
And it was weird because anytime I've gotten called for jury duty or summoned to appear, it usually is you get there at 8:00 in the morning or 7:30, and you're there all day.
Sit there and read a book.
Mine was it was supposed to be the 10th, got pushed back to the 24th, and there were other lucky bastard groups that got canceled altogether. But I didn't have to be there till 11.
The last time I had to go, I literally streamed in the morning and I had to go at like noon. It was like almost like lunchtime.
Yeah.
So I left here like 11:15 or 11:30 or whatever to get down there. And yeah. So similar, but anyway, go ahead.
So I got there, but then I get there and I got there at like 10:40. I got there a lot faster than I thought I was going to. Got there like 10:40 to check in. I sat for until like 11:40, and they're like, well, we're going to release everybody for lunch. I'm like, why did I have to get here at 11? If you're just going to release us for lunch. And I think they only had one case, so maybe that was why. But so I got there and I'm like, well, I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat. So and it was, Monday was that gray. It was gray.
So you went and had a beer.
And it was, well, I wondered.
It's really tempting because you're downtown. There's a lot of breweries.
They didn't say you couldn't.
They did not.
But, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. So I just started walking. It was overcast. It was muggy, but it wasn't super hot. So it wasn't super comfortable, but not bad. But I wound up wandering into that Johnny Gibson's downtown market.
Oh yeah.
Which I've never been. I've walked by it many times because we'll park sometimes farther to the south than walk when we're going to the hub. And I walked by, and so I went in there and was wandering around and just looking at their beer selections. And then I turned one aisle and I was like, Arbuckle Coffee. Yeah. So I was like, I didn't even, and there was a good selection of Arbuckle Coffee there.
That was, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was a pain, that order.
Oh, was it? Okay.
From the person that also did a lot of those graphics and had to change all of them up and do all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was a lot.
So it's still your work.
That was a lot of work.
Okay. Well, yeah, because you had to add like their name onto it,
and we'd have pars of like 2 and 3. Like, so it's a little inside baseball, but like I said, it was like. Most of the time it was we would wind up creating the order. Like the driver would go in, like check basically all the stock and then send it back. And then, like I said, the owner would come back to me and we would basically discuss like, oh, what do we think is selling well? What is not? Like, do we need to rotate stuff out? Like, grocery stores in general are kind of a pain. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, and that was on the production side just because, if stuff doesn't sell, usually you've got to take it back. It's your fault. Like even if it's, even if it just didn't, it could be their own thing.
And it becomes flavored coffee.
We switched you back to the back of the store. It's like, well, why'd you do that? Well, we put out this big stock because we're at the front. It's like, well, we needed to do. It's like, things that are just so out of your control and the margins are small and. Yeah, it's more about it's almost like marketing exposure where you hope they'll see that. And I think we were maybe able to have like our website on the back. Like, it was one of those things where you're like hoping that maybe people like, oh, they'll be at home like, oh, maybe I can just order from the website. And then that's where you make the money.
But I saw
the owner
that.
there was always I always liked him. He was really cool.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, it was a neat little place for downtown.
It is, yeah. If you're for a downtown market, it's nice. Like their deli stuff is really good.
That it smelled good in there.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Too bad you weren't hungry.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Like I've gotten sandwiches from there before, like because it's nice because it's near Pueblo Vita.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
So you can order something there, then you go over to Pueblo Vita and have a beer, and they let you have food in there and stuff. So that's downtown tip.
That's a good. Yeah. That would be a good. I should have done it that way, but I don't know. Can you?
Probably
drink
not. I don't think they're going to want you to drink if you're on your. So mine was even. So then did you came back, and then when did you get dismissed? Did you have to stay there?
Not till like 4:20. I got
perfect. High times.
It was very because I don't want to be on a jury. I don't ever want to be. I don't care to be.
I got to do it once. It was fun.
I don't want to do it.
I like deciding someone's fate in my head.
This person was it's a couple of counts of burglary and murder.
Okay.
And so I was like,
did he look like he did it? No, I was kidding.
You don't want to make judgments.
No,
but not yet. I didn't want to be.
Did you actually get pulled into the room and you had to?
I was in. So they gave you. They called out. They called 70 numbers. I was number 36. So they put the first 14 up there, and then they go through the asking.
Yeah, and then they quickly knock it out. Next person.
Yeah. If you have a reason why, and they got up to like number 30. I was like, okay, I'm going to use my CPAP excuse that I haven't been sleeping well for over 6 months. I tend to doze off in the afternoon, and I don't know if I'll be a good person for this case.
I'm not a fan of people that aren't American. It's like, whoa, easy, man, settle down.
Yeah, my mind was going, but then finally, and the guy next to me, he didn't have anything on his little card because they're supposed to write if you have any yes answers. If you have any yes answers, you're supposed to be listening, paying attention. If you have yes answers to any of the questions. And my only one.
They can do it quicker where it could be like, number 10.
Do you have any yes answers? No, I'm good. Or but the only one I don't know if Anderson's wife still works down there or not. And if that's the division she works in. But
sometimes there's that, if you know a district attorney or a prosecuting attorney, sometimes.
The only thing I hoped to walk in there and see her, and I'd have been like, I'm out.
You're like, I know her. I know that person.
I know her. I can't do this. But
you specifically go up to her and give her a big hug, and you're like, thank you so much.
Thank you. I won't be here for long. But it got scary, and there was like a.
Well, then they have alternates too, where it's like they get the 12, and then
because they have 14 sitting in the box.
Oh, it is. Okay, so they already have the alternates in there. Okay, gotcha.
But it was supposed to start at like 1:30. We didn't go in there until like 2:10, and then all of a sudden they take a lot of breaks there. All of a sudden they're like, "We're gonna take our afternoon break." It was like 3:20. We'll take our afternoon. I'm like, "No, we don't need a break. Just let's get this done.
Let's get this done."
But so then. Anyway, I was able to get out and get home, and thank goodness for that. But yes,
but now you're good for a year or whatever. How long? I
hadn't gotten one since 2017.
Yeah, I can't remember when it was. It's been within the last 2 or 3 years. I got one. It was the same thing where I was like, I looked and I was like, my time to go in is 12. It was like literally right at noon. I was like, what is this? Something very around there. And I was like, that's so weird. So I streamed in the morning. I was like, I got to go on jury duty. Because I checked then. Yeah. I think as I was streaming and it was like, no, you still are called or what. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you checked like the day before after 3:30.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I checked. I still had to go down. So then, I literally went down and I you park and everything else and you dress up, you look nice a little bit and you kind of go in there. And I go in that room that you go into, dark.
Oh.
Huh? Like, am I in the right room? I went around and found. I was like, yeah, I'm here for oh, can I see your thing? Like, oh, we weren't able to get a hold of you. It was canceled. You're done.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, do you need parking gallery? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, thanks. So I'm like, really? I'm like, what? And I can't even remember. The number they had wasn't even close. Not the number you had. It wasn't even oh, we don't have our home phone anymore. So I updated our phone number, but it was like, oh yeah, we tried to call this morning. It's like, You also have my email. You have like 3 other ways to do it that I was checking. But yeah, I was glad to be done. But it also was like, well, that was an hour and change that I could have just stayed at home and not be in it, because it was definitely during the summer for sure.
Yeah.
So that was, like I said, frustrating. But
it's funny because I had Superior Court. I don't know. I guess there's different things, but I parked on Church, where you turn right, head south on Church. It's like where maybe the hockey and the Sugar Skull, maybe the TCC.
Oh, okay.
And the TCC, now there's a parking garage there. It used to be just parking lot. And I would park there, but I didn't pay anything.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it was.
Oh, is there one where you can actually like show your can you? I swear there's something where it's like there's a certain garage you can park in. You just show your jury badge.
Yeah, there might be there, but I was just like, okay. But so anyways, that's done and that's good. So.
While you were all down around town, you could have gone to Rum Runner. Could have gone in there and picked something up.
Yeah, I was all around there on Monday. So
I was everywhere. Yeah, this is good. I really, like I said, I definitely.
Yeah, Bottle Logic usually does not. In fact, I don't think I've ever had anything from them I didn't like.
Like I said, obviously always, certain things more than others, but I don't think I've ever been like,
I like their rice lager. That's good.
Surprisingly,
their IPAs are good. Their Recursion. They've got some really expensive stuff too, but that's usually very good.
God, that stuff can be super pricey, but it is delicious. It's worth every penny, especially when Brian buys one. That's the time when you try it. You find a friend that you can trick into having opening one of those. I actually was in the fridge. I still have my Magic Drip.
I think I have a couple of those too. So.
I don't know if that's one of those ones I probably should drink this.
That should age well.
Speaking of also Bottle Logic, because you know how I am with the chocolate mint beers. When they're done right, I still have one of their chocolate mint beers that was like I can't remember if it was like tied into the Girl Scouts or something in some way, or they just made a Thin Mint reference or whatever. Because I had bought 2 of them and I had one. It was delicious. I still have the other one. I'm like, I should drink. I can't just keep staring at that. It's kind of silly. I do that with so many things. Like I said again, not the whiskey we're going to have today. This one's gone all too quick. But actually, I had another bottle. If we'd have got any other quicker, unfortunately, my wife got to it.
Ah, dang it!
I bought specifically because I know I'd bought specifically this bottle of it was bourbon, Kentucky straight bourbon that they do a toasted from Penelope Bourbon. I've talked about. that a little bit.
You talked about that.
Yeah, I bought it. Took a picture, put it on Twitter. I'm hey, this is the one. Yep, it's gone.
Did you try it?
I did. I literally got because I had saved it, and then I was like, oh, we should try this. Let's have it. So then, I wanted her to try some, so we opened it together and stuff. And then I took a little bit over to HJ's house because I was over there a couple weeks ago. We did actually.
Oh, yeah, you had guys' night.
We did two nights like that, and both nights we actually did blind tastings.
And you were 6 for 6?
So the first night I was another 3 for 3.
I remember that.
And then the next one was stuff I have never had before. So then it was all shots in the dark. I got one of them right. I picked out the Weller Special Reserve.
Okay.
But it was Weller Special Reserve, and it was of that one because we went for weeded lower proof. So it's Weller Special Reserve. Old Elk has a weeded bourbon. There was a local one from Sonora Distilling or something like that. They do a couple different ones, but they had a weeded. And the other one, I can't remember. That one was 4. So that one I was basically 1 for 4.
You went into the many cellars of HJ.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was discovered, but that was fun. But anyway, the first night that I went over there, I took over some stuff that he hadn't had. And that was one of the things was what we're going to have later. But I also took over that Penelope Toasted. And then it was a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago, also, I was like, down to half. I thought she didn't, because I was like, oh, did you like that one? She's like, yeah, it's good. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. I said, well, is it $70 good? And she's like, oh, I didn't know it was that expensive. I said, yeah. I said, I got that one. I said, I'll, be doing a podcast on it or whatever. And literally 2 days ago, I walk over to our little area where it's still sitting there, but it's empty.
Oh, she thought she could fool you.
And I was like, well, because there's also that, and there's a bottle of Willet that's also empty. And I was like, wait, oh, it's been empty. I was like, oh, I saw you fish Penelope. I said I was going to do that for a podcast. You haven't done that yet? I was like,
have you seen King?
When have you seen my brother over here? It's not, he just doesn't hide. He's not small.
Have you heard me talk about him being here?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's like, I didn't know you hadn't done that. I said, I told you the other. And so we had this moment of, she's like laughing and apologizing. I was like, yeah, I'm like, so I probably, and to be fair, it was good. I would have liked to have heard your opinion. It's not great. I don't think I'll buy it again. Okay. I think speaking of those kind of things, I think the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, especially for under $50 is better because it's a little bit on the sweeter side. This one, the oak was there, but it was just missing like a little bit of complexity, but I would still like to try some other things from them, which they do have some more lesser price stuff, But anyway, we'll have something that I feel is delicious to polish off the evening. But do you want to take a break? Have some chips?
Yeah, and we're just about ready. Right? Yeah, we're done with this. Yeah.
Okay. Next beverage we're going to have is we've got a Sauvignon Blanc from Trader Joe's. We're going to go grab some glasses. We'll probably have a quick snack to kind of cleanse our palates, as it were. And then, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you for you guys all being here. BRB. I get that it's stream beats lo-fi, but sometimes it's almost like under-fi.
No-fi.
It's negative fi. Yeah. Like, give me a little something. Yeah.
Really lo-fi.
They need to add to the, hi-fi playlist. That one was always pretty good.
Higher fi. How about the higher fi?
The higher fi.
Give me a higher fi. I mentioned this to you in the text I sent yesterday, but I've been listening to podcasts again.
Oh yeah,
and kind of actually, it says my son he'd sent me a link to a podcast on Stoicism.
Oh
yeah, which I didn't really know what that was, but I've been enjoying
very
that.
Quiet. It's just a picture of a guy like this.
Yeah, stoic with a capital S.
Oh
yeah, not just a little s.
That's about packing. Stowing things away.
Compartmentalizing. Stowawaysism. That's nautical.
That's a nautical one. Yeah. Okay. I like this.
Stowawaysism. But that got me just because I was like, I was enjoying that. And then I don't know if I heard an ad or I just thought I have Spotify. I should listen to some other podcasts. And like you can listen in other ways too. But so I had heard about the Ted Danson one, and you said you're listening to that.
Hey, Bean!
What's the story, Noam? Thirsty guy walks into a bar. You finish it.
Bean, thank you for the 12 months, 1 year with the Bevy Brothers.
Right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the resub. That is appreciated.
I'm glad that you continue.
That's right.
To subscribe.
Here's to year number 2.
That's right.
Year number 1, I order you to take a number 2.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Bean, thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate it very much. What were you?
No, so that had led me. I don't know if I heard an ad,
searching?
and so I heard an ad for the it's new actually. I think this is only the 3rd episode this week. Where everybody knows your name with
I
Ted
saw
Danson and Woody Harrelson.
Well, I saw the two of them talking with Conan O'Brien. And they were talking some story about Woody Harrelson, like not, what was it? They're like, oh, Woody's usually always 10 or 15 minutes late, but then he was 45 minutes late. And then it was for like a reading or something like that. And then they called him and were like, yeah, he says he's gonna be a little bit later than that because he's in San Francisco. It was like, he was like in another state or something like that. Or had flown somewhere. And they're like, and that's just Woody or whatever. He might be here. He might not be.
Well, that's what they advertise with Ted Danson and Woody Harrelson. Sometimes.
So yeah, I literally saw that ad and I was like, oh, did Conan O'Brien just have them on as guests? And then I saw it because it was on TikTok. I saw it down at the bottom. It said where everybody, and I was like, oh, it's a podcast. And then I searched for it. And that was, they got me with their marketing. I mean, I like Conan's stuff too. Like I love all of his stuff too. And his guests that he has on there. So, I mean, he's really taken up, in my opinion, I think Conan O'Brien has taken up the torch from David Letterman as that kind of good interviewer where it's not only funny, but he asks like heartfelt questions and gets to the point of different, I think that stuff's all pretty, like I said, is amazing. But
yeah,
I haven't gotten to listen to them. Are you enjoying them?
Yeah. Well, there's only been, I think, 3. The first one was Will Arnett.
Oh, okay.
And so then because of they're talking about him having his own podcast. So I've been listening to the Smartless podcast.
Oh, Smartless is great.
And that's.
Did you watch the Netflix? There's like a Netflix documentary. Chat, back me up on this. Netflix or Hulu or someone. It was like a series where it was like behind the scenes of making.
I'd like to watch
because they did a tour where they went and did their Smartless shows live, which I think you can listen to some of the live shows, or there's some you have to pay. They have a weird thing where some of them you have to pay for, some of them you can get through Apple Music and Spotify and stuff. But they actually, if you look at again,
I'll have to look
Netflix
that up on
Hulu
Netflix.
Or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like 8 or 10 episodes. It's all shot in black and white, but it's like little edits, and it's just them like. It's kind of like, it always makes me think of like the reason we started this podcast was the conversations and the funny stuff that we would talk about. Obviously it turned more into beverage things, but they were just talking about random things. It's the same stuff we would talk about, me and Joe too, like the 3 of us as brothers, also be like this, that, and the other. hey, have you ever thought about doing this? Yeah. Why would I do that? I wouldn't do it. It just like turns into a conversation. Yeah. It's just that. And the three of them have such a great chemistry that, I love that podcast.
Well, and that was the thing about the Ted Danson, the Where Everybody Knows Your Name. He said, we get a chance to hang out. And, sometimes that is the main thing behind ours. I mean, the beverage is like right there, but I think, especially since we were on the hiatus, we were on there for a little bit, and we're going to have another maybe week or two here again, especially hearing like him say that, I was like, I want a podcast. And then those guys all, we get to do this. We get to hang out. Those three guys, I'm like, damn it, these people keep throwing this in my face. So that was why when I was like, well, maybe take another week. I was like, no, if we take this week off, then it's definitely going to be
almost like 2 months.
I was like, no, we have, because that is a big part of that. It's certainly, and I, I like that I think they respect each other's careers, and maybe that goes a little too far sometimes, where they say how great they were in this, how great they were.
Yeah, where they're like, but going to their plays and everything else and stuff. But it's cool though.
It's what it is. That's what they do. But so it's like, all right, and
it seems pretty genuine.
And so far, I've enjoyed at least some of the things they talk about that they believe in, and so I'm like, okay. That's good.
Yeah. Jason Bateman's funny, like how much of like how worried he is about his looks and appear. Like they're always kind of giving him trouble about that. Like, because he must have had some facial work or something like that.
Did he?
Or they just tease him about it because they're like, "Are you gonna get a little more done there?" Like, or something. I don't know if he's actually had it done or they just pretend that he has, because he's like, again, if you watch some of the Netflix stuff, he's very much like he's the person with like, I want this specific thing because I like to have this low calorie bar, and like at the hotels and things. Like I don't think he does it like in like where some people are kind of jerks about it,
right?
But I think he also still has like these weird things that he hopes like he can have at like the different places. But
Will Arnett's been cracking me up.
Will Arnett's great. No, I was to say, speaking of things that Jason Bateman would like from Trader Joe's,
I hope so. I would love to hear him mention Trader Joe's.
So this is Sauvignon Blanc. What I also found was interesting about this, before you get into some other details.
I don't have any other details.
Okay. Well, that was short-lived. Yeah. We have actually had another wine from Vignobles La Chateau.
We have, yes, the Vouvray.
We did. We had the Vouvray. Yeah. When I went back, I actually still had the grab. I was like, oh, we've had this.
There's a Muscadet they do as well. But this is the Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley, and this
100% Sauvignon Blanc grapes too. Which is cool.
It's stainless, I think, right? Is that what it's
stainless steel? Yeah. So they're going for as much fruit and apple and all that kind of flavor. $6.99.
Yep. And that was the other thing too about this. And once again, I had wanted to try this. I think it either got bumped from one or we didn't do that week, and then it got pushed back, and then it eventually. But it's here now. So.
And you have had this though.
I have had this.
Full disclosure. That's all right.
Yes, I have had this.
With the weather turning slightly warmer.
Yes. It's very refreshing.
It's very refreshing.
You need a white wine for refreshment.
The aroma is really good. It's definitely is what I was just saying. It's that apple, pear, maybe a little peach.
Yeah, actually, that's surprising because I know what I think it tastes like, but aroma, slightly.
Oh, a French wine.
Oh, yes. But no creepy guy looking at it.
Oh, no, we don't have the creepy guy today. Sorry.
Not today.
Yeah. Slightly. I know. I was wondering. Sesmont. There we go. Crocodile. Parlez-vous français? Ooh, this and some oysters.
That would work.
Do you like oysters? Have you ever had them really?
No, okay. I've had oysters. I know you guys will. Well, I don't think you did this year, but last year.
We did last year. Yeah.
Butcher. Yes.
I think Joe and I always feel a little guilty. I think for the most, like I said, you've had them, you kind of like whatever. Yeah. Like Joe and I really like them. So then it's all sense like do we ourselves? Like it's like
you should. Life is short. Just enjoy it.
It's true. But yeah, I do like me some oysters, and like I said, yeah, a white wine like can go really well with that. Like so obviously a lighter beer. I keep talking up. I need to actually. It's one of the few times I actually would like to go out. Like I said, that Wren House said another one of those the big spill pills. That was really good.
Oh, good.
That was really good. No, that's left for that lighter beer. That is a like amazing pool beer. I think refreshing, but it actually brings a lot of flavor to the party too.
All right, I got to get some for next week then. Point well taken.
I think so. If it's still available.
It is.
Then do it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's nice. It's light, tart. I think I was hoping for a little more of the fruit to come through.
See, to me, I get more like Fitz in general said citrus. I got a little bit of lime, but yet there's still some of the minerality there too.
Yeah, a little like stone fruit kind of something.
I just think
lemon and lime I get for sure. Like that really comes through. I think I was hoping for like in the aroma,
which surprised me.
I did get
like
a little more apple.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. With when you mentioned that, maybe I hadn't on my own investigated that aroma in depth enough, but right here that I got I was like, oh yeah, there's a little peach in there and a little bit of apple, but
blueberry, blackberry, boysenberry, huckleberry, strawberry, peach.
I think the thing that, and it's actually kind of then remotivated me for podcasts, is listening to and some of what they're so quick with some of the things that, especially like, I like Will Arnett, but listening to him, especially the episode I'm listening to right now, he's hilarious.
Oh, he's great.
And they did one with Martin Short and Steve Martin.
Oh God.
And Martin Short and Steve Martin are so.
Martin Short is actually like I think he's sometimes someone I forget about, like how fun, but and he's also kind of more biting with his humor than I think of, because like usually I think of like, oh, he's the kind Canadian, like he's that kind of person. Yeah. But whenever, like, I think it's the dynamic between it. Whenever it's because they usually a lot of times have Steve Martin and him together. Yeah. And they've been on other talk shows. Martin Short like ripped Steve Martin like a very lighthearted new one. It's like kind of like, oh my God.
Martin Short was, I guess he like actually really prepares when he goes on these when he does an interview show. That's what he was saying that. But yeah, it was oh my God, just to listen to those two guys, it's like it's genius. No wonder I've loved them for so long. Yeah. Oh God.
That's great. That's a great summer wine,
especially
right there.
For $7.
$7, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I didn't want to lead. Obviously, I've said I've had this before, and I would bring something to the table that I've had and didn't like, just because I would want your opinion.
Yeah.
But I have bought 2 bottles of this. So.
In addition to what we're having now.
In addition to this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, it just it was excellent.
$7. $6.99 actually, so just under $7.
Yeah, just a touch under $7.
So I don't know how it is in
when your taxes, it's going to be more than that. So yeah, $6.99.
But yeah, 100% Sauvignon Blanc grapes, like I said, fermented in stainless steel tanks. But yeah, it definitely is bright, fruity. It's not overly, like I said, there's not a lot of sweetness in there, which you wouldn't want. Like that's not what you're expecting, but it's a little bit dry. It's a little that tart is nicely there, but nothing is overdone. Like I said, my only little nitpick would be, like I said, just I would like a little bit more of that either apple or that stone, that minerality stone. Like some of it comes through, but it's mostly just kind of lemon, lime, citrus with that, like as a little bit of a backbone. But for $7, like I don't think you can start, if this was $14 or $15, that's when you'd be like, that needs to come.
That's not
like
what
for
I
me,
want.
that needs to come through with that. But like I said, for that, no, that's
when you
great.
order a Big Mac, you can't get it just a touch pink. It is incumbent upon you to let the chef. Okay.
To let the chef know that, and you send it back.
Yeah.
God, that's such a good line.
Ruth,
eat a cookie, take your temperature. Yeah, that's really good. We were talking as we were coming back in here before. We were talking about TV shows and stuff like that, and that you'd watch 3 episodes of The Boys. I'd watch 4. The 4th episode is, the reason, like I said, I kept getting ads for it, and then like I said, my son was like, "Oh, do you want to watch The Boys?" I was like, okay. So we watched all the way. I was like, because we'd watch like 2 or 3, and per usual, like actually maybe not on that one, but usually my wife is always after a couple episodes, she's like, "Oh, let's save her," like she's And I was like, if we're watching this now, we're watching through that episode because I've already seen some like spoiler things, and I want to see it was like I wanted like okay, so we watched I was honestly not super excited for like another season. Like it's one of those things where after the 3rd season, like it was really like it's really good, and I enjoy that when I'm watching it. Right. But I'm always kind of like, man, I don't know what else they can do. And I know that I think they're doing one more season after this, and then they said they're done. Like that's like
they're going to do a 5th.
That's what I heard. There's going to be a 5th season. And
how's Butcher going to be around for the 5th season?
I don't know.
Unless it's a flashback season.
I don't know. Maybe they find something else. Maybe there's a Compound X. I don't know.
Hopefully, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, so I was like, oh, okay, well, if they want to watch it, we'll watch it. But no, as soon as I start, I was like, no, this show's just good.
Yeah.
It's like I said, again, you have to be down for, extreme violence, and amazingly fast
all of a sudden it's like on you. You're watching, all of a sudden you're like, oh God,
the blood is splattered on me.
Sometimes
someone has been shot. I can see and they do such great camera angles too. There are so many where it's like, it's almost a little telegraph now. Like one of the things that I won't spoil for you. Like there was one thing where I was like, as soon as they showed the shot, I was like, well, I know where he's about to get hit right now. Cause it was like, they were already doing it. So you could almost see them the hole through the person. It was kind of one of those. And I was like, okay, I know where that's going.
I think it's funny with the new Noir. He's like talking.
Yeah. And they just keep telling him
like,
to shut up.
He got like disemboweled. This can't be
It's a new guy.
Oh, okay, it's a new guy. Yeah, no.
And they just keep telling him to shut up. He's like, you're not giving me my proper motivation for our character. Like, just shut up. When they're not only in a way telling him to be quiet, but they're also, his motivation is just be quiet.
Just be quiet.
That's what's kind of, at least I think that's funny every time.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
You know, because he keeps saying, and I don't know what I should be doing. They're like, just shut up. And so it's like, for me, I don't know if that's what they're actually going for.
It should be.
But that hit me as a double, like, kind of
if that's not motivation. It should be that.
But the deep is really good. Like I said, his thing.
Ben really likes him with his comedic. I'm like, what is the point of the deep? But it's like, that's just a lighthearted.
The octopus is funny.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I'm sure there's a 5th episode now, but we're 4 episodes into that. We watched another episode of Fallout since we've last met, and that show is still really, I think we're 5 or 6 episodes. It's really good. That Walter Goggins is great. And the show, even if you have, like my wife does, like no connection to the video game at all, she's really been liking it too. So I think you guys would like it. It's just, but yeah. So we watched we watched Air, which I had mentioned to you, which was good. And then we palate cleansed we watched Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah, I've never seen Kill Bill.
All of a sudden, it was like we had finished that, and then we were like going to watch something. Like I think
palate cleansed.
I think I did something on the computer, and then when I came back, I was like, "Yo, do you want to watch something?" She's like, "Oh, find whatever." And I was like, "Well, I'm not sure." And then all of a sudden, I just see that she's put that on. I was like, "Oh, which one? Or the first or the second one?" She's like, "Well, I watched the second one the other day." I was like, well, "That's my favorite one." Like, all right. So then she put on the first one. We watched all the way through that. They're good. I like.
So
those.
Is there a 1 and a 2 because there was too much for it just to be 1, or did he make 1 and then say I need to make a second, or what was?
No, it was planned to be 2.
Oh, okay. Time. All right. Yeah, I've never seen either.
There was talk of one time he was going to do like some sort of supercut that put them all together. But yeah, like it's definitely it's good. I love those. Are definitely a couple of my favorite Quentin Tarantino. Again, Bloodfest and stuff like that.
So what's your least favorite Quentin Tarantino?
I was thinking about that the other day.
Oh, good. I didn't realize that, but
I know I was actually thinking because people have you seen people? They do those like things now where they rank like someone's either movies or games or whatever else, and they rank it by tier, like S tier, A, B, C, D, E, F.
No, that's funny. I know what that means now.
I know. I thought you would.
It's an S build or an A build, or yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So they rank
S
them
plus,
by that, and you can put more than one thing in there. But yeah,
your B.
Yeah, I don't even know where it would actually hit, but it's probably still Jackie Brown. I've watched that one the least. I watched it once and was kind of like, oh, this is okay. And then we've watched it within the last 3 or 4 years. Again, because I was like, oh, I should watch that again. And I liked it a lot more, but it's still like, even though I liked it more and liked, a lot of the acting is like, everything is always for me is always really good in a Quentin Tarantino movie, but that one is, if something is going to have to fall to the bottom, it's probably going to be that one.
Okay. I've never seen that one either.
It's good.
Like, he was going to be doing another movie, but then he said he's not.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. I don't like hearing that.
So my friend,
he's got to do the 10th film.
JJ, who's a huge, Tarantino fan. He'd been following. In fact, there is I don't know which came first. I'm guessing the movie came first, but there's a book that goes along with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I actually got that for him as a gift, and he's been reading it because he always had this theory about Brad Pitt, and he always was either always wearing yellow or stopped wearing yellow because after, if he actually did kill his wife or didn't kill his wife, it was like he consumed her, and then so he was always wearing yellow, which was what she was wearing. He had all these different theories, but so he's been reading through that, but he was following it because I guess it was going to be called The Critic, and it was going to be Brad Pitt was going to be in it, and now he's like, I think he gave me a reason, but yeah, now it's like it's done. He's not going to make it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was going to have Brad Pitt in it.
I don't like hearing that.
I know.
Now I got to take that.
Look it up.
Google.
I know. That was because it was going to be. He thought it might be being filmed at that. There's like a theater that's near where he used to. Anyway, but
reportedly scrapped plans for an upcoming film titled The Movie Critic, which he said would be his last. Quentin Tarantino has plans to cap his distinguished career as a director with one final movie. Big question now is what he... Oh, okay. So he might still do a movie, but he just stopped doing that one.
Okay.
10th and final film of The Critic before it began filming. Tarantino previously said he planned to end his career with one final movie. Some say Tarantino changed his mind about the film after rewriting the script, which delayed production. Interesting.
Well, that's good. If that means he's not done, then.
So maybe he's just doing that one, yeah.
I thought that said lavender bush. Lavender blush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lo-fi.
So will you buy a 4th and 5th bottle?
This is one I like it because I really enjoy New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs as well, but this is just, it's different, but it has the nice fruit and the minerality, and the prices. That's where I like, for me, for like, I did. So the rosé that I sent you a picture of is, if we do ever want to get to that one is more, but I did buy a bottle of that one, and it is that's also quite good.
Good evening, Keith and Andrew. Keith. Andrew, what's the buzz on this crop of beverages? So far, so good, I would say.
That's right.
We have had a fruited sour from Bottle Logic Brewing called Nectar of the Night, and then we were just enjoying right now the Trader Joe's Sauvignon Blanc, because I'm not going to go for the other stuff.
Vignobles? Well, I would think it's that.
La Chateau?
Let's just call it a Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley.
Vignobles, La Chateau, Terrain, Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
And I can still see Robert Loggia up there, so that's good.
He's still hanging out there.
He's still there. He's
Sushi's getting her bits worth right there.
A few more comments and he'll be gone, but that's okay.
That's right.
We'll take the comments and participation.
But Sam,
Robert Loggia.
Yeah, Sam, it is good to see you. And then, very shortly we're going to go break out a little Frey Ranch whiskey, the last of the single malt we'll be having. I don't even think we can get this one anymore, to be honest, though.
Oh.
Don't think it can be found.
Well, unless they come out with another batch.
We found another batch in the back. It's like the extra añejo. Someone left this barrel back there.
The extra.
Oh God, this water has fallen all over my hops and barley. Whatever will I do with it?
My God, we were watching. Frasier was on the other night.
Oh,
I don't know if you're familiar with it. The show about,
I think I've heard of it.
Two brothers that are psychologists. They live in Seattle. One of the brothers had been in Cheers prior to that. Yeah, this was like the spin-off show.
Thomas Hayden Church is in that?
No, not in Frasier.
Oh, okay.
But
Woody Harrelson in that?
He in one of the episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he comes back as his character from Cheers.
Oh, so those are tied together?
Which civil war was more interesting? Spanish. But I don't have time to prove it.
That's still so good. It's so damn clever.
So this was from season 9, which anything like up through season 7 or 8, I'm pretty well familiar with. I know what the line is coming, but when you get into season 9, I've seen them,
right?
And that's what I was telling Pocket yesterday, because when we were watching it. I said, I've seen all of these episodes, but I don't know them to know what necessarily line is coming up. In a couple of them I do,
right?
But my God, there was one. It's the one where when Frasier goes to Wisconsin.
For Roz, right?
Yeah, and after they'd slept together the night
because then
before.
He pretends to be
Roger, right?
And then he's telling all the stories and saying all the nice things. She's like, "Oh no, you tell him." Like it starts to
and that one's really.
And then her sister gets all pissed because it's like.
Well, you could,
probably because you don't play much golf. Oh, I don't have much time for golf.
I don't have time for golf anymore. Yeah. What's your handicap? Well, I really don't golf very much anymore. But
that one's really good.
But the following episode, and I think what they're trying to do is probably just like put a little bow on that, so that there's no more maybe the audience doesn't have any unanswered questions. But they're sitting there in the cafe and they're talking. They have the comment card. She's like, and you were great, and she's like, well, I can fill out a comment card for you.
Yeah.
That little bit, and then they revisit the comment card part later, and she's like, yeah, Sting was on Letterman, and your dad. She is, oh my God, and she's like, and then he says, did Sting say anything about shaving your legs? And then the Brazilian, the rain,
right?
Oh my God, and there was some other good stuff in those episodes right around that, but yeah, both Pocket and I, we were laughing so hard at some of that stuff, but it's so good. Anyway,
yeah. No, that is
comedy from 20 some odd years ago, but
yeah, that one is good. Like that show is really good with those more difficult moments, those more, the comedy always, like I said, obviously that's, it's its own level of masterclass. But like I said, what makes that show good is when they do have to have those real moments about the harder things that can be difficult in an episode, especially a 30-minute sitcom. And they're able, like the actors are so good that they're able to convey, like when they're sitting on the porch and they're able to convey that like, we're fine, we're good, but there's still a little something still there. Like they're able to show that it's not just like, oh, we're good. Like it's not that like, like you can see that she's like still a little emotional from what he just did in there. So then she's probably at one half of her is still thinking about like, oh, maybe this is like the person. And then she's like, but it's a friend, and he's having that, and you can sense all of that torture. And it's just, that's why, like I said, they're such good actors. Did you guys ever get Paramount Plus? You can watch that last season. The new final season.
Oh, that. No, we don't have Paramount Plus. Been eating a lot of pears lately, which makes me wonder if there's a good pear ale or something in the alcohol verse. There are pear ciders.
A lot of good pear ciders out there. Like I said, just, from either Woodchuck makes a good pear cider. I'm sure Schilling has one, I would think.
Trader Joe's used to have
that one's pretty,
one,
usually pretty popular. Beer wise, you're going to have to look for, you either probably are going to be looking at some sour beers, perhaps, maybe some Hefeweizens. I don't know any off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
But yeah, if you wind up finding some, but yeah, those are usually the places I would look. I would look for either some sort of
cider,
pear sour, pear cider.
Yeah,
like I said, maybe it might be a lighter Hefeweizen that has like a bit of pear in there. Stuff from Prairie Artisan Ales. Usually, like I said, if you find like one of those kind of more artisan places like that, they're out of Oklahoma, correct? I think.
Yep.
A lot of those kind of places, they will do sour beers that actually use real fruit, and that'll come through. Drecker sometimes has, I don't know if they have anything specifically pear, but they always have a lot of fruited sours and things. So that would be what I would look to, or those places. Another quick break.
Quick break.
All right, let's do a quick break. We're going to go grab the final beverage of the evening, which is hopefully, I have had some of this one.
I think we'll probably be able to see that.
Probably be able to tell that. Can I add you as a friend on Destiny? Sure, Iron Man, go ahead. You can send me a friend request for sure. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Maybe one of the quickest breaks of our careers.
Was it a quick one?
Felt really quick.
Did one song even play?
I guess it was still maybe slightly over 3 minutes.
Okay.
That's not bad. But thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate it so much. It was good to see everybody. We've got one final beverage this fine evening, something that cannot be found anymore. It is no longer on store shelves. And ever? I mean, I don't know if they would bring it back, but they would never bring this version back again, I would say.
Well, you're right. Is this because, it's unless they can exactly replicate every single thing down to the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it starts. Mother Nature.
True. Mother Nature. Right here, it is a whiskey. This is an American single malt. This is from Frey Ranch Distillery. It is, if you have watched this channel for even like a few moments, I think you know how much we love almost pretty much everything from Frey Ranch. From the first bourbon that we had to the
rye,
to the bottled and bond, like whatever that rye. Well, not bottled and bond, but that 100 proof rye is excellent. Yep. Those are kind of their two staples. But they've had a single barrel that was absolutely fantastic. We've podcasted on that. It's been involved in a blind. It has won several blinds.
Andrew can pick it out at 50 yards.
That one I literally can. That was part of one of the blinds that we did with HJ, and I literally was like, it's this one. Like there's the black tea again, like that aroma. So yeah, I absolutely love their stuff. This is something I had quite a while back. As you can tell, this bottle is pretty much empty.
Now, to be fair, it is a 375 milliliter.
This is true.
Right? So but it doesn't look that big.
No. But do you want to know something mildly interesting little fact? So this is the one that I got, and then Cope, friend of the show, that I've done, a couple, like I said, some streams and things with him. We always have some whiskey. He also, since I had a bottle of this unopened, he bought a bottle of it, and this is what we shared when we did that show. His after that show is empty.
Wait, what? He started with a full bottle?
He started the full bottle.
And at the end of how many hours?
We were going for about 6-7 hours.
It was empty.
It was empty.
I'm both in awe and afraid of that man.
I'll show you some of the grapple videos later. You can be also afraid of him there as well.
He was probably grappling with that.
He was.
He was grappling in here.
I had maybe I had quite because like I said, we made a couple old fashions. We had a couple of things.
7, yeah.
But yeah, no, still it was a good amount. This one, like I said, I've got a little bit left in here. Like I said, so enough for us to have some.
Well,
right
make
now.
sure you save yourself at least another.
This is the pour I want to have it with, though. Like I said, this is
that.
We'll see how much is in here. We'll find out.
Okay.
This has been aged 6 years, 7 months, 100% malted barley. And then they actually do, like I said, because it's an American single malt, so it means obviously just malt in here. But the other thing that's interesting is because it is smoked, you start to think of Scotch.
Okay. Yes.
They actually did their own version of peat. That's how amazing Frey Ranch is. Everything is on site. They actually made their own, like, what peat is, like I said, which is, it's composted, like, just raw plant material. So they did that. They turned one of their silos, like, literally into the smoker and did this, like, literally did that kind of traditional process to make this.
That's pretty cool.
What I'm trying to say is this is not inexpensive. So for this 375 ml bottle, it was $60.
All right, I'll leave you the money before. $375 for
Just
60.
leave me the rest of the wine.
Wow.
We'll call it even.
Okay.
So 120 if it was a full bottle.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, but there's some, like, their single malts are usually around 80 or 90. Like, it's
their bourbons in the
range.
55 range, the rye in the so
around 60 and stuff like that. So,
but and you know how I am with my money. For my money, though, that's worth it because their stuff is that good. The stuff I've had from them has been that delicious.
Well, it was like a teeny bit left.
Did you have to get a new
One more
computer?
sip.
Or I saw you.
No, thank God I
saw you with
it was
one of your posts.
It was a bad day. I literally got up in the morning. It was, a week ago, 2 weeks ago Thursday, a week ago Thursday.
No stream today. Have the blue screen.
Yeah, literally walked in, was ready because we weren't podcasting again. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stream Destiny. Turned on the gaming computer, and it like booted up. It like didn't even get in a window, just all of a sudden blue screen. And rebooted through that a couple times, kept doing it. And then on the third reboot, it came up with the, please insert boot drive. So it like couldn't even find it. Then I went and looked in the BIOS. But literally the drive it's in there. I went to see it. And I think it's literally, I thought I could at least maybe Windows went bad and I can still look at that thing. Lucky had me get, I can't even get the files off there. So still putzing around with it. But yeah, I had to immediately go out, buy another drive, download everything, reinstall. It was a lot.
Technology is amazing and also challenging.
Yep. definitely is. I'm kind of surprised that one went, but like I said, thankfully nothing. I don't think there might be a little something on there that I'd like to probably try and remove from that drive, but it's not the end of the world at the moment.
Remove because you don't want anybody else to see it, or remove because you need it?
Of course, I have secret things. No,
okay.
No, because there's some stuff on there probably that I might need.
All right.
But anyway, American single malt.
American single malt. Malted barley.
Proof.
Okay.
So yeah, just malted barley.
Smoked
so single
green.
malt, which is its own category now. A lot of people do American single malts.
Okay.
I think technically who is it? The local place.
Oh, Delbach.
Thank you, Whiskey Delbach.
Yeah.
Their stuff is single malt. But yeah, so this is smoked grain series.
I know Fitz speaks highly of the Sentinel. Keeps wanting to go back and get that. We still carry at the store. We carry the classic and the Dorado, which we've had the Dorado. And I think either you mentioned or somebody has told me that they pulled back on that a little bit to make it not quite as.
Oh, I have not heard that.
That's what I had heard. That's what I've heard. But
I would like to go down there because I've only had little things here. I would like to go down there and have almost like a flight of tasting other things to see some of it. Because
Let's do it.
All right,
let's get that on the docket. We have to get a trip to Russian River for the Pliny the Younger. Let's plan it.
I mentioned that to Joe.
Okay.
And he's like, that would be really fun. He's like, I'd be interested in that.
All right.
So I think next
see what we can do.
I think we should try that. We would love to do a Pliny the Younger trip. That would be absolutely amazing. If we actually go out for Pliny the Younger, do we go over to Crocodiles? Does Crocodile meet us there? Crocodile's in that area. He's in Alameda.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to get some of that on draft. And then we have to take home a few bottles. And then just explore. I don't know. I think you could make that into a Thursday through.
We'd have to see about either getting
I don't know what would be the best there.
Getting maybe a Airbnb or something near there, or
that would probably be the best thing.
Look at that for next year.
Yeah,
is it back to February?
It's always right. It was right around Valentine's
because of the pandemic.
Day. Yeah,
it was back to March or April.
I'll have to look. Crocodile, do you actually know? You've done that before, right? What kind of grain is smoked? So this one in particular, I was just talking about. This one is a single malt that Frey Ranch does. Everything they do is the very definition of farm to table.
Yep.
everything they do, the grains that they grow, the wheats that they use, everything, the barley that they use, they grow on site. They do all of the, like I said, they do all of the distilling. Everything is done, the aging. So this one, they did an American single malt, so it's 100% malted barley. And then what they did was they basically made almost their own peated bricks and did the smoking that way, like the way they would do in Scotland, but they didn't actually have peat. They had their own version of it, but everything was from their farm. What? Oh, like you've done the Pliny the Younger. Haven't you done that at some point, Crocodile? I want to say, or maybe that was someone else in chat was some point was talking about that they had gone and had the Pliny the Younger for that like couple weeks that it is available. We always talk about every year that we want to go out and do that and experience that. We got there like, this is terrible. We drove 14 hours for this.
You and Joe and Brian, I should.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Brian has a tent trailer thing, doesn't
he? He actually does.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That was your original idea. It was like we take turns
somewhere.
Yeah, like
I can't drive that thing.
I could drive it on the freeway. I just wouldn't want to have to like.
All right, you have to get off. Switch spots.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe we just have to keep Brian awake. Maybe he just drives the whole time.
Well, we don't have to drive all the way through.
I mean, I've driven 10 hours.
Yeah.
And that's not bad.
Just not
You've only got a few more after that.
Trying to put my senses on this. What it's not super complex, but it's very pointed in its a little bit of caramel and a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, I get a little. It's almost like a smoked toffee kind of thing. Like it's like it's not quite maple syrup, but it's got a little bit of that kind of brown sugar kind of thing.
It's not that deep.
No, it's not. It's definitely more lighter on there. HJ picked up on the smoke light. We're like, I go in there and like, I get that there's smoke there, but to me, it's not as Scotch forward as a lot of things usually are in general. Not. Like it's more blended in there, like in a much more harmonious way, in my opinion.
It has some, I guess, maybe a light earth note.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I don't necessarily say it's like the peat of Scotland, but
there's definitely some earthy other plant
Nevada.
matter stuff in there, and no, I love that aroma too. Taste?
Yeah. Okay, there's the peat.
Yeah.
Peat's here. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, isn't it? They come back like the smoke is almost as like the little like after like the wave.
There's almost a little fruit in there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not like a heavy fruit, but like a maybe a little cherry. There's a little something in there that's wow. Oh, that's good.
That's good, isn't it? Yeah.
They better do something like this again.
That made one of the best old fashions you've ever had.
Oh, of course.
I did
all of those notes would pick
all
up
of those notes, and then old fashioned, which is where they're going to stand. And then I used actually in mine, I used maple syrup because like I kind of added a little bit more of the maple in there to kind of bring that out.
So what actually is an old fashioned?
It's a cocktail.
Okay, so what does the old fashioned cocktail consist of?
It's
what are the ingredients?
It's literally bitters, sugar, a little bit of water, and then your whiskey. So it's the best representation of like whenever you have something that to me, whenever you have a whiskey or a bourbon or whatever that's better, that's the one you think of to like put in an old fashioned.
Because with the Manhattan,
you got the sweet vermouth in there. It's a 2-to-1 kind of component mixture. You do have bitters in there too. Usually I like to in the old fashions. Usually it's orange bitters. Usually you can still use Angostura bitters. I like using like either black walnut bitters or a chocolate bitters along with the orange to kind of mix that up a little bit because I have both of those. I used maple syrup in there instead of simple syrup. It basically, sometimes you'll see people do the actual sugar cube and a little bit of water and they like muddle and they mix it that way. You can totally do that. Like I said, I like using kind of pre-made things. Like you could use a Demerara or like those, but it's very simple. Right. It's about basically enhancing to me what is in the whiskey itself already, sweetening it up just a little bit so it's even a little bit smoother, and then just enjoying it and allowing the whiskey to be the 100% the star.
Yeah.
Select bars around this area get usually a single keg of Pliny the Younger and announce the day they will start selling it. My usual bar is one of these. They open at noon and give out tickets, 2 max per person, till they run out of tickets and then start selling around 4 p.m. Never gone to the brew. Okay, that's what okay.
So as someone in that area, what would you recommend for us that would be making a journey, a drive? Do you have a recommendation for us? What would you think?
I mean, actually to go to the brewery?
Yeah, what would you suggest? Would you suggest that we try to go to the brewery? Would you suggest that we try to go to one of these places that we can just try it? I mean, what?
Yeah, what would be the best option?
You don't have to answer
sure
that right now.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You can think about it and get back to me tomorrow too.
Get back to us. And are there...
When you go back in and smell again, like for some reason after you've actually had some, I get more sweet coming through.
Definitely.
I don't know why. Figure out where you're going in California and then match that with a bar that usually gets it, I guess. Okay. I wonder how, like, I'm sure it is an absolute, like, I wonder if there's any kind of like, because I'm someone, if we are going out there and like, I'm assuming like, again, you could fly, it'd be an hour flight. Like that could be an option too. You got a ticket or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like an hour and a half flight. It's like super short. Cause I remember Jason and Heidi like joking, like you drove 14 hours, you could have, then you got to rent a car and you got to do it. But again, if you flew, you knew the place you were going to, you rent a car for 2-3 days. And
we
can
can get
back.
a good deal on a rental car.
Yeah. I've heard you may know somebody.
Yeah. But I think the thing about driving would be one, just the camaraderie.
That'd be for me.
And then we
like
could also stop along the way.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just go to that area. We could stop.
We could hit all these other bars as we're driving out there.
We could do San Diego and then right as we drive. No, I mean we could,
you could like
do a couple things along the way.
You could like depending on when you started, you could hit like someplace for lunch and food and drink, and then kind of go up or whatever. But turn it into a little weekend trip kind of thing. Okay. I think that'd be fun. It's usually the same bars each time. Okay, that makes sense that they probably have their own like network of people that they work with. Guess I'll be up all night tonight because I'm trying to get exotic auto. Oh, you going for the Kvastov Iron Man? It can be a little bit of work. That can take a little bit of time.
Exotic.
Oh, that's not.
No. Yeah, no, definitely. Once it's weird how you smell it, and then you taste it, and then it's like those two senses have been triggered or ignited, and then you go back and then the aroma is different. I've never really thought about it. Maybe I have. Probably we could find several podcasts where you're like, I've said this exact same thing 17 times. Damn it. It's hell getting old. Damn it, why do I say that? But I haven't thought about it. It's quite in depth in that way. But yeah, you definitely get more of the sweet.
Yeah, this is one in particular where I would go back into it and be like, oh, okay.
And that smoke though is still there though for me. The smoke on the water.
Yeah, you definitely, like I said, at least on the taste, you do have to, that has to be a flavor profile that you like. Like I think my wife would probably like the aroma, but I don't think the taste because she usually doesn't like as much of the smoky stuff. Although sometimes she surprises me. You went through that entire bottle?
Yeah.
I didn't mind the smoke in that one. Brewery has 2 locations, Santa Rosa and Windsor. Santa Rosa about 60 miles north of San. Oh, that's right. It's even
is Pliny available at both locations? I would assume.
If there was, so what I was going to say before, and then I think I cut myself off, which is very painful. Usually I go to a Moyle for that.
Ouch.
Yeah. Oh my God. Where's the...
Disappointed!
I would want to guarantee that we're not driving there and hoping that we get oh my God, this line, or like if there was something where you could prepay that you got again, either tickets like you said or something okay, as long as we know we get here by this time we're good, or hey, there's some sort of pre-sale. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
When it's released, it's at both locations. Windsor is very close by. Yeah. That would be the part that'd be I'd want to, because they would hate to, I said, you'd go out. Not that you couldn't well, let's have some, there'd be other fun things to do that we figure out. But
do you and Crocodile chat frequently? Or?
We do. Crocodiles in chat most days.
Okay, well then maybe this doesn't have to be answered.
Oh my God, so annoying.
What came out?
Oh, he was being very nice and putting a link in the bio, and then it was a stupid thing. Crocodile, I apologize. That's ridiculous. There. I'll put in chat for if anybody else is having one. 2024 Pliny the Younger annual release.
That was March. So, okay, March.
So this year was March through April? Oh.
Yeah.
What to expect when visiting the pubs. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Both breweries are open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. In years past, the line generally starts forming the early hours around 5 to 6 a.m., particularly on weekends. We're almost always busier on Friday. Saturday and Sunday sometimes seem twice as many people as we are on a weekday. Pro tip, come Monday through Thursday to minimize your wait to get in. Evenings, especially in Windsor, tend to taper off. Be prepared to wait 6 hours or more on a very busy day, especially on weekends. Each guest will be given one custom, uniquely colored and dated wristband upon entering the pub. These wristbands have 4 pull tabs to be redeemed for the ability to purchase 3 10-ounce pours. New this year, and up to 3 bottles of the Pliny the Younger. Oh, I like this already.
Okay.
Limited to 3 draft Youngers per guest, and they're non-transferable. If you do want to buy your bottle, if you do not want to buy your bottles, you may transfer your allocation to friends in your party. That's nice.
When did this article get posted?
This is on their website.
And it got,
that's a
we
great
can't tell.
question.
So here, there's lodgings and
Alaska Airlines and Avelo Airlines, direct flights. Local hotels. Wow, this is a nice little piece of information.
Yeah. So we need to know like when this gets posted next year.
Planty, how's it going?
Hello,
good to see you,
yes.
Planty.
We're here. So, okay. We're going to start. We're going to manifest this. This is happening next year.
That's good too, because Joey's always has to put in that earlier stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, is there any way Crocodile, is there any way to like tell when this was posted? That's a great question. Like, so then we would know when to start looking for, in theory, if it's that same time of year, roughly, or like, I mean, we would probably start looking in January no matter what.
So and it even says since the pandemic.
Oh, sorry.
It's changed. So yeah, no, we're going to start. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to make this happen next year.
It's a total event. I'm sure if you web search for some pictures about it, you could find it's a big event, but they obviously have more than one keg, unlike my local bar. Yeah, that's definitely, it sounds like there's nothing, like it's almost like for that entire time, obviously maybe toward the end they could run out, but it sounds like as long as you were toward the earlier side of that.
Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would maybe be the thing. Like if you could,
we're going to do it.
If you went out like on a Wednesday, like so that you're there by Thursday. So maybe it's technically the Thursday is the earlier.
Well, it says Monday through Thursdays.
Well, it's just said that was a quicker time to get in.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I said.
So if we leave on a Sunday,
I mean, you could do it that way. I just didn't know. I mean, we could make that the front end of the trip, and then the back end is doing whatever. That's why I was saying, like, if you left, this depends on what people can do for days off.
Yeah. Okay, but we're gonna make that happen.
I feel like there could be some beverage content created there.
Yes. We can blog as we go.
Yeah.
Can even record. We can even, go live while we're
We
driving.
could. I have multiple like options to go live there. That would be actually kind of fun.
Yep. Okay. All right. Next
Pliny
year,
the Younger.
That's happening. We're going to make it happen.
Doubletree Hotel by Hilton.
It's okay. No.
Yeah, right.
This is really, really good. And it's not overly complex. It's like just the right amount of notes and
more complexity reveals itself in the taste.
Yes, and I don't mean this. It's easy to enjoy. It's not culpable. This isn't culpability.
No,
but it's very easy to enjoy. It's not like it's not too hot. It's the right. It's got all of the good stuff.
Easy to enjoy, difficult to master. Wait, what?
Wait, huh?
I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good.
I wonder if there's a way, like Crocodile, if there's any way like you can tell when this was posted. That would be interesting. Anywho, not back to whiskey. No, from the first moment that I had this, I was super impressed. Like I said, it is definitely worth for me every penny. That's absolutely delicious.
Thank you for sharing that. I'll Venmo you or I'll Zelle you the money later.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll get you that.
That's all right. I still owe you for Luxardo cherries that I've been enjoying. So.
Oh, that's okay.
There you go. Well, they're even then.
You said all I had to do was leave you the rest of the bottle of the Sauvignon Blanc, which I was planning on doing anyway.
Damn it, that's right. I've underplayed my hand.
No, I didn't. I wasn't. I totally. Actually, I saw a bottle of those cherries in my pantry the other day, and I thought, did I give those to Andrew? And I was like, oh yeah, I did. But no, I wasn't even thinking about. No, those are yours to keep.
Okay, they're good. I've been enjoying them
without any
no remorse. Like shit, I owe my brother $5.
You don't owe me any money for
Are
those.
Those still there?
No, actually, they're gone again. Probably, I'm guessing until later this year. So, as I just said, I have an unopened bottle in my pantry.
Oh, okay.
So if you need to,
I'm nowhere near through them very quickly, but all of a sudden in my head I was like, "Those are such a good deal. I should have just said, Keith, buy me like 2 or 3 of those."
Well, and so like I have one that I have also an open one in my fridge that hasn't solidified yet. So you can probably have access to the one in my pantry. Also, what came back this year, The Amaro, the Pronto Amaro came back.
Oh, when?
So if you need it, I have it. So I don't know if you need any, but I've got it.
That would actually probably be a good thing for me to get in that, because I definitely have used some of it since you gave me the rest of that bottle.
God, I still love with that. Just
your little
couple
Amaro
of
spritz?
shots of it's delicious. So, but yeah, it's funny. A guy came over. Fitz and I were standing next to each other, and a guy walks over and he's holding the bottle of that, and he's like, "What do you guys think of this?" And Fitz looks at me, and we looked at each other, and he's like, "We both love it." He's like, "We've both bought so many bottles of this." He's like, "What is it? What as far as Campari, what's it like?" And we're both like, "Well, it's not quite as bitter as Campari.
Yeah.
It's like, we actually like it better. It's not.
I like
toward
it.
The Aperol was really orangey. He's like, yeah, I like that. Sometimes that's a little too much.
No, it's definitely still the herbaceousness that you're looking for, but it's just not. It's just the bitter is just dialed down, just for me the right amount.
We're like, especially for $11. In fact, the
Montenegro is good though too.
One of the things that they wanted us to do as section leaders at the store was come up with a value item, and I had picked something else, and then that Pronto Amaro came back as available, and I was like, well, this is my new value item, and I have it right in the middle. Although we still sell a lot of Aperol, $28.
Aperol,
yeah. Campari, $29, and our Pronto Amaro right in the middle.
It's like
$11. It's like, to me, that's it, if that's what if that's the kind of thing you enjoy.
If you want the classic bitterness of Campari, like I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But if you want,
but also I think Campari has artificial coloring in it too.
Yeah, and I honestly think the Pronto has even a little bit more depth when it comes to the other things. But that could just be because the bitterness to me on Campari is just so strong. And I am not like I said. I'm surprised. Yeah, how much that bitterness just comes
especially
through.
For $11. No, it's to me, it's a no-brainer. Unless you want that orangey fruitiness that the Aperol gives you, which I haven't had that. But I know that's what
it is. Very much more that though. Yeah.
So
yeah, when I have had those, like I said, I went through having much because I think HJ had 87 Amaros. Because the Montenegro is pretty good. Like
Montenegro,
I like that
Branca.
One.
There's a lot of different ones, but
I literally think he had most of them. It was funny.
Well, of course, they've got 5 different.
One for each distillery area.
Subdivisions of their cellars.
They're a huge fan of Rush. Subdivisions.
Yes. Subdivisions.
In the backs of cars.
Ooh, now even my last little, that is even actually a little maple syrupy.
I know. Yeah.
That little, there's the remnants that are in there. That's not even.
There's remnants of it in the sauce.
It's a whisper. Yeah, there's remnants of it in the sauce. My God, we saw a couple of episodes
That's so fantastic.
of Night Court the other day.
New or old?
Oh, not the new one. No, the old one.
They did like a renewed version.
They did. They've done 2 years of a reboot, but yeah, we did. We saw a couple of episodes. It was just good to see Night Court again. Even though they were like some of the newer ones, but it was still funny and yeah. But anyway,
we've been watching through Brooklyn Nine-Nine again.
I think we're like, I still want to watch it.
You haven't watched it at all?
No, I've never seen any.
Oh my God,
I know
that's what Pocket would love it.
That's what I was talking with Pocket about.
You guys have to watch. It's on. Do you have Netflix?
We do.
They have 4 seasons on Netflix.
Yeah.
I guess there's like 8 seasons, but there's 4. The first 4 are on Netflix.
Yeah, no, I want to watch
100%.
that.
You guys will love that show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, no,
we've watched through. I think we're on our maybe only our second or third.
Your chair there, is that a Costco chair, or did you get that?
No, I got this one at Office. What show? Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm sure most people have heard of that or watched it, but that show's fantastic. It's on Netflix.
Because Pocket's looking to get a new office chair, and I said, well, Andrew sits in his all day. when he's streaming. So I said, this probably has found one he likes.
This is literally This was like I went and sat. Because I think you have to do that. Like, so there's so many of those, like, the Herman Miller chair, which is ridiculously expensive. Oh, yeah. There's the one that actually Frank's son had talked to me about at some point because he bought, and I think I like follow, and that was one that he had bought because he was working from home and doing it. And that one was supposed to be pretty good. It was a little cheaper, but that one was supposed to be really good. But yeah, I went into like Office Maxes and Targets and Costco and everything else. And this is the one I finally sat. I was like, okay, this feels like support, but it's comfortable. But like, it kept being like I was either like, oh, this is leather, like too plush. I don't want that. Okay. Or it was too like the mesh and everything. Like this had the right amount. And this does actually have arms. I just have them back.
Right.
Like if, Pocket would want that.
Yeah.
Great show. Watched all of those. Yeah, that show is so good. My wife and I are on a second-ish watch through of that. She just watched through most of Schitt's Creek again, which I popped in and out of watching some.
That'd be good. I wouldn't mind watching that one. Again.
It's so cool.
Actually, I'd like to watch The Good Place.
That one goes so quick. Because it's only like 10 episodes every season. Like, because I had seen a couple at the beginning, and then I had like left, and then over a couple weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, you're already like they're together already. Like it was one of those things. She's like, there's only like 10 episodes a season, like 20 minutes. So you kind of cruise through those quick. Yeah. I still haven't seen the last season of The Good Place.
Oh, you need to do that.
It's probably like it's too late now. Well. I should just read it.
No,
it's too late because I don't remember the other seasons now. Almost.
Oh, well, then watch it again.
I don't want to watch all those episodes again.
No, I think you'd catch up pretty fast. Yeah.
Cheaty.
especially and well, Kristen Bell is the second episode of the Woody and Ted Danson podcast.
Oh, is she on there?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's second one. So.
Oh well, that was awesome being back again.
That was good. Yeah, very good. Well, especially when you end with that.
Everything tonight was really good.
I do have a little bit left.
I do have a teeny bit left.
So good. I'm glad.
I have one more little sip.
Yeah, you have
that probably my wife will steal from me.
A little bit of no.
It goes in the closet. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys all for being here as always. Are you doing something next for it? Like I don't know if we necessarily have 4th of July planned. Not that you have to come over for a podcast.
I work. I know I work. Chris, Pocket will be off. Yeah, I don't.
Maybe next week.
Specific.
So possibly next week.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. I'm thinking just because it'll be
kind
of
shoot some fireworks off,
holiday kind of thing, and I'll get home and she'll just be waiting when I get home.
Things? You can start cooking things up. Okay.
Yeah. Who knows?
So glad you guys are back. It was good seeing you both. You too, Paco. Always good to see you, Paco.
Yes.
Cleaning my grill. What are you grilling, Planty? As we wrap things up here, things are going very good. It is good to see you as always, Planty. But yeah, like I said, so next time we get together, any thoughts, plans? You want to try and do that Coke and?
I think we should.
Okay, I'm good with that.
That'll just be fun.
I have plenty of Coke, so
yeah, and I'll bring the wine. So
we've got that.
I think that because since it is an actual drink, it's not like we're like, hey, we put these two things together. We can actually
do we have
talk
to talk
about
like that the whole episode?
Hey, we put these two things together. We're gonna do a whole podcast where we talk like that. There you go.
Hey guys,
no, we won't talk like that.
Hey, what's everybody doing?
What? Hey. All right, good to see you.
Hey guys.
But no, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
And then beyond that, I'm sure something will present itself in the interim.
Yeah,
so
maybe we might have another whiskey or bourbon or something.
If you guys are actually back and you want to do that today, maybe you'll have brought something delicious back from.
That's
California.
Possible. Yeah, so, maybe we'll have found something secret from somewhere. That's true. It's for Saturday first back. Oh, you're doing one of your backyard movie nights. Nice. Yeah, Planty has like a lot of fun like neighborhood things. We need to live near him. I am realizing that quite often, but unfortunately he never invites us anyway, so it is what it is. But yeah, like I said, we'll be back again sometime.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next week or two, we'll try and figure out something. And like I said, but yeah, it was great seeing everyone. It was good doing some more podcast things as always. I have audio. Oh, perfect. I finally had muted that. Let's go say hi to Oh No, Look Out Below.
That's a great name.
It is really good. Most people just call him Oh No, but yeah, the whole name Oh No, Look Out Below is really good.
Okay.
Yeah. It is really solid. He's playing some Valheim. I'm sure he is building something. He's probably crafting something. Who knows what in God's name he might be doing.
Building, crafting.
He's building and crafting. Have you been playing much of the Double Up lately?
We have been. It's got to be about time for a new patch, but
I'm surprised.
But yes, we not a ton, but we're still playing regularly, and I still use it when I'm on the bike in the garage. So, but yeah, we played a couple last night too. So,
all right,
yes.
Well, let's go say hi to Ono, and again, see you guys all very soon. I don't want to say next week because it might not be next week, but very soon we'll do some podcast things once again. But thank you guys all for being here, and yeah, see you very soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Good night.